Hi and welcome to my playhouse, and today we have another sponsored video here at my playhouse in Portugal. This one is from a company that specializes in solar powered technology. It's called LANPWR. That's how I see it. It's spelled LANPWR. I reckon that is LANPWR, but yeah, correct me if I'm wrong, but LANPWR reached out to me and wanted me to review one of their power stations. And as I had plenty power stations in Denmark, I asked if they could ship it to Portugal. And well, they could, but then it was out of stock. And then I found something else on their webpage that I wanted to review. So this is what we're gonna see today. You probably already saw the thumbnail, so you know what it is, but it's a big box. If I'm lucky, there is a 150 amp hour lithium ion. Oh, I don't even think it's lithium ion, it's the even better technology that is inside. Lithium phosphate. Well, we'll see where we get in there. I'm sure they will be bragging about that. But this box dropped in from their German warehouse. It's a 16 kilogram box of goodies. So we're gonna open that and see what the battery looks like. And I have a project for it that I have explain to the regular viewers of my channel. It is something about internet on a mountain with a solar panel and a very big battery. There is some wind today. I'm sorry about the wind noise if it's noisy. Yeah, the very nice postman dropped this off. It got a little bit wet on top of it. I'm using a rock. We did that a lot back in the Stone Age. Yeah, I'm that old. Oh, I think it's a box in a box. Yep, one box reveals a new box. So yeah, we better not. Normally I will put it upside down, but I have no idea. The box doesn't really say that I can't do that. So oh, it actually does say this side up. Let's not do that. How do I get it out then? I think I'll have to break the box. Another box. Oh, and then that is upside down. Brilliant. Yeah, that's so. This box is upside down inside the other box that says it has to be the other way up. So this must be up. Oh, why did I drop my good rock? Oh, no. So on this box we get a little bit more information of what this is. You get a good view of that, I'm guessing. Yeah, you see that pretty clearly. And here we have the company name. Thank you very much for sponsoring this video and sending your hopefully awesome product for me to play around with. So you probably need a little bit of a view how this looks when it comes. The big reveal. A very big battery that is now upside down. So this is a total mess. The text on this box says that this is up, but the battery inside is upside down. So this box was right. That's and this one is wrong, and the battery is upside down. But now I can turn the box around and it will be unboxed. Okay. It's a hard life being a YouTuber, I tell you. The challenges we have to overcome. There we are. It comes with a manual. Do you get a good view over there? Yeah, you have a big sticker with the company label, and 12 volt, 150 amp hours, 4000 cycle life, deep charged recyclable lithium iron phosphate battery, and it has carrying handles, which is awesome as I'm planning to put it on top of my mountain, and I have a good idea of how it's gonna get up there. It's gonna involve a lot of swearing and huffing and puffing. So yeah, it has a display. We need to check that. Okay, it's actually not that heavy. Compared to the size of it, it's lightweight. Let's see the manual though. So the battery terminals here are protected with little plastic things. It's a good idea not to put anything metal across that, I would reckon. That would be a bad day, I'm sure. So here's the manual. And there's a lot of information about this battery, plus some awesome pictures of other products that they have. So I got the 150 amp battery. I could probably have gone with a 100 amp battery, but well, they suggested the 150 amp battery, and who am I to try and talk them down from there? I thought that was pretty cool, so I went with that. They also had a smaller one. Do they show that? No, they don't. They had a tiny 6 amp hour battery on their web page, which it was a bit too small, but it was actually pretty cool. So yeah, other products that are available, a lot of specs on this battery. It has a capacity of 1920 watt hours, and I'm gonna power something on top of my mountain that uses about 10 watt an hour, 10 watt hours. Ever so slightly windy, sorry about that. Yeah, the boxes are blowing around me. So this is a 4S1P. So there are 4 cells inside of this. The nominal voltage is 12.8 volts. Sounds good. And I'm sure there is a lot of there's a BMS in here. We're not gonna take it apart. I don't think you can take it apart without breaking it. And I'm gonna be using it, so we want it to be working. A lot of other good information. Let's check the display here. Let's see. I'll just keep that around. It comes 89% charged, 13.13 volts off. Okay, that's what we get. So the display does not tell you much. It tells you a state of charge, and it tells you the voltage. There could have been more information, but I haven't found that yet. There is just this button that does anything, and this thing I think I will put that back on. I have to carry it all the way up the mountain to put on my solar panels. So I have a multimeter. Let's check if it agrees with the voltage. Okay, so we already need to take this off again so that we can see it. So let's see, it says, oh, I found that they have put holes inside of these so you can actually measure the voltage. So it says 13.34. That adds up. This multimeter on the BMS in the battery is doing a good job. It's accurate enough, with only 1 digit after the dot. That is what it's supposed to say. The battery can do, you can charge it with 30 amps, and it can be discharged with 100 amps, and it can do a peak of 300 amps in a pulse. And at that point it will probably trigger some sort of a security feature and cut off. There's a lot more in the manual. So the idea with this project is for have it to power my internet connection here at my house. I don't have direct view to any cell towers from my house's location, but my house has a mountain on the other side of my land is on top of a mountain, and from there I can see at least, I think I can see 2 cell towers from top of the mountains, but they're kind of on the other side of the mountain. So the idea is to put a pole up there. I have already mounted the pole, and on that pole I'm going to be putting a solar panel. This is a 30 watt solar panel. We will start there. If 30 watts isn't enough, more can be added. To that I'm going to add a tiny little charge controller. I'm just starting with this one. I had that laying around, so I brought it, and we're gonna start with that one, and if that isn't enough, well, we'll put in a better one. The battery though, I think this is gonna be plenty, so that's a good battery for this project. I'm sure it should be able to run that equipment up there. I'm estimating that the equipment is going to be using about 10 watts. So with 1920 watt hours, that means that it can handle it for 192 hours, which is several days. Actually a lot of days. So yeah, that's the project. So for now we have just moved to the back of my garage. I have purchased some wood because I have mounted a pole on top of the hill, which is up. Oh, the sun is blinding, but it's all the way up here, and it's way steeper than it looks on camera. But I need to mount some wood to the solar panel so that the solar panel can be powering the battery and the charge controller. So yeah, I purchased that. That was an issue, finding small pieces, because I'm in a hire car, a tiny Citroën C3, and it didn't have much room, so because wood usually comes in way longer pieces than this, but they had some smaller pieces. They were very overpriced, but yeah, you gotta do what you gotta do. So yeah, we gotta see if we can mount some wood to the solar panel so that we can mount it on the pole on the top. So I've been playing Bob the Builder here or something. I have a little box with the charge controller here. I have the solar panel mounted to a piece of wood, so the solar panel can slide out when I drill that to the pole up there. And the battery is over here. I ran into a slight problem. I wanted to have this box buried in the ground with the battery, and I thought this box is plenty big, but it's not. It's missing some, so that is irritating. So maybe Morten was a bit too greedy. That 100 amp hour battery would have fit there nicely. So yeah, that's what you get for being greedy. I'll get another plastic box. That is by far not the expensive parts of this. So I need to measure out how wide the battery is there, so I can get a box that fits better. Here we are at the top, and the pole that is gonna be my internet connection, because it sees that cell tower up there, and I'm getting assistance carrying stuff up here. I need to go down and help my mom. All the tools has moved up here, and we have just completed mounted the solar panel. Out here is where the sun goes. It goes this way and disappears over here. So the solar panel is gonna catch that, and it's on hinges, so it can be adjusted for summer and for winter if I so need. On the other side, and Jesper is here still helping, gonna help carry down stuff when I am done, I'm sure. We also need to carry that heavy battery up here, because the solar charge controller won't work before it gets a battery, so that is needed. But as that box didn't work, I'm not gonna let that nice battery sit on the ground up here with nothing. My idea was to dig a hole and put that black box and then cover it up with something on top, but without that box I don't think it's gonna be as good. So So I need that box, but for testing purposes we're gonna carry the battery up, we're gonna test it out, see if it will do something, and then we'll take the battery down again until I get a new bigger box, which also means that I need to dig a bigger hole, which is, I already feel it. But charge controller is nicely mounted on a piece of wood here, and this is the pole that I put in. It's okay steady, and the solar panel slides out, and we have invented this stick here, which somehow it's gonna sit and kind of it will keep the solar panel out, and it could be adjusted with some holes and something, so it could have different angles. So yeah, nice. And oh, this is a cheap toolbox. I have no idea how long this is gonna last. If it doesn't last very long, we will get something else. But I actually found a funny thing with the charge controller. It has a USB connection down here, and the battery on the camera that we're recording on, I haven't charged it up fully, so I actually thought that maybe I could just bring the cable and I could charge the camera up here as well. It actually says what this charge controller can do. It's an iCharge PWM2410R, and it will do 12 volt, 24 volts, 10 amps plus USB. So cool. 30 watt solar panel, awesome. Okay, so it's a little bit later, and the 150 amp hour battery has found its way up here. And no, it did not jump up here by itself. I have been huffling and puffling and carried it all the way up here. Luckily, lithium iron phosphate batteries aren't that heavy compared to if this was lead acid battery. So yeah, I'm happy that wasn't a lead acid battery. I wouldn't have been able to manage that by myself. Well, I would, but it would have taken all day. So we're gonna cable this. I have some different tools in a tiny little backpack, and we're gonna get this cabled up. So I'm wiring this now. This wire is very thin. It's only 0.75 millimeters. Tiny cable for a really large battery. But remember, the most wattage this is ever gonna see is if the battery is low and there's full sun on this solar panel, then we might see 30 watts. And that is not a lot. That's like a little bit over 2 amps. We could probably read that on the back of the solar panel. And the solar panel is probably never gonna give us 30 watts. It's probably gonna give us a little bit less. 12 volt, 30 watts, a couple of amps. So maybe 2.5 amp. So yeah, wiring this up, and as soon as I connect this one, we could just test that. That's the plus, and it goes up into the charge controller, and there we have it. It shows up, we have 13.3 volts still. So yeah, but I'm gonna wire that. So now we have wired it up. Well, there is only the solar panel coming in. That's these wires. It comes from up here. Oh, we can see the solar panel voltage right there. Okay, you can see that. I'll see it when I'm doing the editing. And there is a fly that just figured out that it had somewhere else to be. So yeah, the most we're gonna see here is 1.7 amps, 73 amps. So we're fine. Very thick cables for 1.7 amps. And we have already gotten the voltage up on the beefy battery from LANPWR. So yeah, it's not the prettiest install. We'll get there. So we are at 88% charge. Let's see, 13.2. Oh, they're not entirely. That is weird. The voltage has gone down here, but has gone up here. So now the multimeter disagrees with it. It says 13.2 and the multimeter says 13.35. And this one says 13.4. So yeah, must admit, I trust the multimeter a little bit more because that is its single job, to measure voltage and current and other stuff. I think I did mention that there is a USB connector up here, so there's a 5-volt output port, and I have that going down here. This is the charger for the camera actually. So I can't very well show you that it's charging the camera, but we could measure the voltage coming out of that one, so I'm gonna try that. It's a bit of a fiddly job. Okay, I think you can see that. And if I stick these in here, oh, I have to get in really far. That's the plug, and you can see 4.992 volts, very close to 5 volts. So that's good. I can charge my camera up here. So now the charger is in the camera and it was charging the battery. When I'm using the camera, it uses the power directly. I hope the sound is okay. Sometimes these chargers can go into the camera speaker sound system and make noises. Usually I don't do this, but for the video purpose we are at the moment running off of solar power. So we're brought to you by solar power and LANPWR. So yeah, but I did cheat. I took another USB cable with me up here, this one, which will charge multiple things including my phone. I didn't want to stuff my phone directly in this charge controller right away because yeah, the voltage might be bad, but now that the camera is working, I'm gonna risk it and put my phone to charge. So this whole setup is of course so that I can connect to the internet over at that antenna over there in the distance. And just to show you, I have 4 bars on my 4G connection up here. I do not have a 5G phone. I actually don't know if there's 5G on that antenna either. You can also see that I'm filming this on the 22nd of February and connected to Vodafone, which is also what we're gonna be testing with this with in an upcoming video though. But right now, let's see if we can charge the phone. We should be able to. Let's pop that in. Ah, there we are. Charging. So that is now charging. Awesome. So if nothing else, I can always climb up here and send my videos from that rock over there maybe. Yeah, that would be neat. So if you're wondering if these are lightweight, you wouldn't be able to stand like this with a 150 amp hour lithium acid battery. I would very much like to say thank you to LANPWR for sending me this awesome big oversized battery for my project, which is of course going to be awesome. And yeah, more to come on this project, so you will see this battery again, and I am gonna go get a box for it because yeah, it needs a box up here. So thank you very much for watching my videos. Do subscribe to my channel so that you can see me again. And now it's getting heavy. Have a nice day. Bye bye.